Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. Today we're going to be doing a very different video. We're going to be talking about how in a few years we have built $1 million brand. I'm going to be walking you through some like the key steps in terms of how we went from being a startup to now a recognized brand in this industry. Basically covering a game which has always been considered a bit of a meme. I guess I'm going to talk you through like the initial flow of events. I'm going to talk you through some of the key stages where we went from being, you know, just basically a group of people playing games to a brand which has now got its own recognition. And I'm also going to walk through some of like the financials around that, how I could kind of back up the $1 million statement, and then on to what it's going to lead to for the future for the HH Gaming crew. It's a pretty packed video. Grab your cup of tea and let's go. So I guess we're going to start with my start, and this is actually a really important sort of element to, you know, if you wanted to get into this space, become a brand owner, become a creator yourself, really the starting point is essential. Some people will kind of jump in thinking this is a great niche to follow, this is a great gaming craze, and this is where I'm going to start. But honestly, I think the place to start is with something you're genuinely passionate about. So I played Raid Shadow Legends as a side hobby. Okay, that's where we started. I decided to do some content creation on this game.
Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is my channel Addicted to Gaming, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video.
And you know, bear in mind at the time I was a sales professional. I was a sales director specializing in new business, you know, multi-million dollar contracts, multi-million pound contracts for me. And before that, I'd also had a sales startup position where basically I led a team in a new business, and again we created like a multi-million pound business within a couple of years in a new space for a company, which again was quite a big achievement for me at that time. I was able to use some of those kind of like sales experience backgrounds in terms of analysis, in terms of planning, in terms of understanding the market, in terms of understanding my customer, to I think build the initial part of my content creation really well. And the fact is, you need to start with something you love. Okay, so I've been a gamer my whole life. I've done plenty of videos kind of calling that stuff out. And I was playing this game because I genuinely loved the game. Even though it's a meme game, even though we saw all the ads, I played it because I really enjoyed it, and it filled a space for me in terms of gaming in my work, like, you know, I guess in between my work and personal life, which was perfect for me. I felt like I could genuinely give something to this community in terms of strategy, in terms of knowledge, and that was kind of like my starting point. I think I can bring something which, you know, other people were not bringing in the creator space. If you don't start with a genuine passion for what you're going to do, then you're going to struggle to do the grind. Yeah, ultimately the first part of this is the dedication, and you might think it's super easy, but coming up with video ideas either every day like I do in this game, or some people it's every week, some people it's every month, but having the dedication to come up with those ideas, follow them through, and get your brand started is actually more challenging than most people think. And a lot of people just quit after a couple of weeks because they literally just get burnt out as quickly as that, or they don't get the results they wanted straight away and they give up. Ultimately, to get your initial traction, I think you need three things in YouTube. You need the dedication and commitment to actually put your content out and, you know, make sure that it's actually good content. The other two things really come from getting people to click your videos. So it's a great thumbnail, which is very clear, very succinct, you know, gives people a very clear view of what's going on without giving away too much. So it needs to entice a feeling within someone, whether it's a feeling of, you know, I don't know what's going to happen in this video, or I'm certain, or whether it's a feeling of this just seemed intriguing. You need some sort of hook on the thumbnail to get people to click on your video. The second thing which you need alongside kind of like, I guess, intrigue is the title, which then backs up that thumbnail. So, you know, again, it kind of like just feeds a little bit more, gives it, you know, perhaps poses an interesting question, but ultimately gets people to want to click on that video to then get into it. And that's where you need the great content to get going. So this video though, it's not about growing a YouTube channel, it's about growing a brand. And I'd say the first kind of like key change for me personally is moving from Hell Hades to HH Gaming was when I started to work with fiction. who's my kind of like partner on hellhades.com and HH Gaming. And what we decided to do was to build a social presence for my personal brand at the time, Hell Hades. So what we wanted to do was build a website. We wanted to build our social platforms up like Twitter, Facebook, etc. And actually Fiction came to me from a marketing background. So I've got this kind of sales background. Fiction's got a digital marketing background, SEO expert. He basically came to me and pitched for a way to grow my brand at the time. I saw the pitch and I was like, you know what? You know this stuff much better than I do. Let's become partners on this. Basically, I want you, Fiction, to own the kind of content plan for anything outside of YouTube. And that's what he took on, and we worked on it together. So we needed to understand, like, what do we want our brand to be? Now, we have come from this Raid Shadow Legends world where the player base is slightly older. Okay, so if you think about gamers, you're probably thinking, you know, people in their teens, in their 20s. Actually, the demographic for Raid is older than that. It's more like an average of 25 to 60. So, but probably, you know, peaking around the 35 years old type of range. Most people that are playing Raid Shadow Legends, considering for a long time it was just a mobile game, they're playing it because it looks amazing for a mobile game. And we wanted to make sure that anything we do within our brand emulates that same feel. So, you know, everything around what we're doing for our champion page, we wanted it to feel the same as if you were in Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah, so our champion page, we wanted it to have this nice kind of crisp feel. We wanted it to be better than anything that existed already on the marketplace. That's a personal thing for me. I'm going to do something, I'm going at it full beans, and we want to be better than anyone else. We wanted to have the best information you could find in the world, on the planet, for this game. Okay, so we went through and over time we've updated things and built things out, because another one of our pillars was continuous improvement. Okay, we didn't want to get to a point where we had some success and then we are static. Actually, we wanted to give as much detailed information as possible on this complex game that we play, and ultimately build a platform where people can come outside of actually playing the game and improve their experience when they do play the game. So that was like our kind of like starting point. We then wanted to bring a lot of reason to stay on the site for a long time. Okay, so a few things with that was tools. So tools to genuinely improve your game experience. And the tools, we wanted for there to be a reason to come back to our site again and again. The tools were kind of enabling that. But actually quite a cool thing which I feel like we added was a membership scheme at the same time. So to access any of our tools, you needed to be a free member. It's actually, it comes back to kind of like the sales and marketing background, but we're building a community. Okay, that's the whole kind of vibe around membership. It's like, you know what, if you want to access our stuff, become a member. You don't have to pay for that, but you get to see everything that we're gonna create for you guys. But it builds in this kind of like community feel to our brand. And our brand, in terms of, you know, we're a gaming brand, we want it to be a community-based brand. So that was really important. We also partnered with a genius of a web or a developer who built a tool, which back in the day, I was trying to look for original screenshots of this and I don't have them, but back in the day, this looked very different to how it looks now. But we built this optimizer tool, which basically gave users of Raid Shadow Legends a way to improve their champions offline, or I guess online, but away from the game. So, you know, optimize your gear, optimize your kind of like setup to basically beat content that you couldn't beat before. And we kind of came up and have built on this over time. The cool thing about a tool like this is basically it just gives more recognition to the brand. So that, you know, this becomes the HH Gaming tool, the Hell Hades tool that people use if they want to improve their gearing. Now, when we start to talk about, you know, how do we start to add some value into the brand? Well, we then add membership tiers, which I think was a crucial point of us growing as a brand in terms of actually earning some capital, earning some income. We added membership tiers. So firstly, if you become a member with a paid tier system, you're just supporting the development of this site. We have 17 employees now who update, improve, all that type of stuff, this site, help build the development tools, all that type of stuff. So it's actually quite a lot of people that we we now have under our wings. Yeah, it's helped us build our brand. And one of the key things here was having a membership system that if you do a paid membership, one, you're helping us support that group of people. And two, you start to get some little perks for things like our tools. You don't have to have the perks, but the perks are just kind of like a nice to have improvement. Things like our artifact rating on gear, stuff like that, which just generally is a nice to have, but not a must have. So it was quite cool. I went from being Hell Hades, my own personal brand, to HH Gaming, where we actually build a lot of things for our community, a community-based brand. What we then did, I guess along the way, what we've been doing is kind of hand-picking people to join our team. And one of the best things for me is that if someone talks about HH Gaming and has got some sort of knowledge of what we are, it's no longer just them talking about Hell Hades, okay, which was always the way in the past. It was always like, I'm the face of the brand, and I'm still that to a certain degree, but we've now got, you know, other creators on the books, if you like, other creators on the team, like Saf. So Saf, people will know as our development god, as our Excel sheet legend, and in his own right, really great content creator. Okay, he didn't come on board as a content creator. He came on board as a web developer, SEO expert, helping us push website to more people. But actually, he's also developed his own skills in content creation over this time. And now he's widely known as a great content creator as well, which is really cool. You know, in terms of like developing people, that's one of the most important things to myself and Fiction. And our team is just a bunch of awesome people. So very fortunate that we managed to pick up the right people along the way. YST was the next kind of ad. YST, again, content creator in his own right, but was able to bring to us a different look on, I guess, the content or the game that we monitor on a website and make sure that we are, you know, rating people in the right way, all that type of stuff. So again, just building our brand by bringing in credible people in this space. So when it then comes to kind of making money, I spoke about membership already. I think that was actually a really great add to the website in terms of us having like long-term income and growth and that type of stuff. Monetization is important as well. So we've got a number of ads that play on the website. One of the things we spoke about right from the start is that we do not want the ads to basically encroach on somebody's experience. Okay, so the ads earn us income. Simple as that. Okay, we've got a couple of ads you can see on the page here. As you scroll down, there's another one, and then there's another one here, and there's a video player in the bottom right which will play ads from time to time. That's where a chunk of our income comes from in terms of this brand. There's loads of websites where it feels like the ads just completely block everything you want to see. Okay, we absolutely did not want that to be our website. We could earn a lot more money if we did that, but that's not what we want to be, and that's never been one of the things that we wanted to be. So this is one way that we make income. We actually make income through merch, but again, our demographic is a bit older. Our merch store does not bring in lots and lots of cash. It brings in some cash, but not a lot at all in comparison to the other stuff that we do. And I guess let's get on to, you know, how we can kind of validate, I guess, our site, how we can validate our brand in terms of a value. You know, if someone was to come to us and say, how much would you sell for? We got some information we can share. So there's this website called Worth of Web. Unfortunately, it's not kept up to date as it used to be because of the changes to Alexa rating and stuff. But I've still got here a page which is relevant as of a couple of 100 days ago. And it will give us some insight in terms of, you know, what we were worth according to these rankings. And it's all a bit of a, you know, like a finger in the air type of job. But yeah, it'll give you some insight in terms of what's going on. And in terms of income, it's surprisingly accurate. Like, I don't know how, but it is surprisingly accurate. So this website, up until a couple 100 days ago, was monitoring the website value, revenue, visits, page views, and then looking at things like Alexa rank, and then we'll basically value the website or the brand based on that, okay? So if we go down, it gives us first off this Worth of Web rank. So according to this, and again, this feels crazy to me, but and probably inaccurate. But this website, according to all of the information that Alexa was gathering at the time, is worth $20 million. What's weird to me, so we built a website just based on one niche game. Okay, one niche game. And now, I guess since then, we kind of like broadened out to cover some other games. But we're still mainly based on one game. And it kind of proves that, I mean, this valuation is crazy, but it kind of proves that you can build a really cool brand, a really high value brand, if actually you've got the right direction, the right people, and the right commitment to do it. So it then comes down to some of the data here. Let's just zoom in a bit. So estimated revenue per day, 3.5 roughly $1,000. Estimated revenue per month, $100,000. Estimated revenue per year, $1.2 million. It's actually not crazy far out, honestly. It's overinflated the amount of revenue it thinks we get from ads. Probably because we don't have ads like this, which is just kind of feels like it's overpowering the page, but it doesn't understand that we actually do membership, and membership does help us towards this type of value. So kind of crazy that although I don't think it's bringing it through the right way, it's actually not far off what our brand makes. And bearing in mind, we have a number of costs. So it's not just like, oh yeah, cash in the bank, go buy your Lambos. As I said, we've got 17 people that draw income from the site. We've got all the costs of managing the brand, managing the website. We do things like take the team to important events or just fun things with the team as well. In fact, we're going to TwitchCon in Vegas, which for a lot of us is a long way to travel as a team to understand, the gaming kind of sphere from that side. Also to meet a lot of people that we worked with in the US. So, things like that are really expensive to do, but ultimately we earn good revenue on the site per year. It's also got here kind of like a breakdown of data that you get on the site. So, page views, visits, etc. And again, this data is very accurate. So gives you a feel of the size of the site. We get millions of visits per month. In fact, it's more like now, since our data's updated, it's more like 10 million visits per month on our website. And yeah, obviously that's a crazy amount of visits, considering again, we mainly cover one game. And then the last thing I'm going to show on here is kind of the Alexa rank as of a couple hundred days ago. So we were coming up for top 8,000 websites in the world, which is nuts. It's absolutely insane. But it all comes back to this kind of like wider brand that we've established. So I guess, we've got ad revenue, we've got membership revenue. We also do some sponsorship stuff with new games that are coming through that want the power of this brand. Yeah, so all of that helps us towards kind of growing reach. And I guess ultimately what it's helped myself and Fiction to do is to now move to the next step in our evolution, which is actually creating a brand new brand, a brand new kind of like avenue for us, which is actually going to be developing our own games through Fateless. So Fateless is a brand new business, a brand new kind of venture for us. Interestingly though, we were able to get the full funding requirement we wanted for Fateless, basically because of all of the work we've done in HH Gaming and all of the credibility we've built in this space through HH Gaming. So Fateless now is launched. We are building our first game with Fateless. We've got our own YouTube channel for Fateless, etc. And that's going to be a massive step forward for us in terms of growing our reach, growing brand recognition for both businesses. And what's very cool is that we actually cross over into a lot of different spheres. There's a number of creators that I just did not think would ever know who Hell Hades was, who HH Gaming is, and the team, but they do. They do because the brand starts to surpass just the game that you play, the game that you cover, because actually there's genuine credibility in this space for someone who's a creator that's built beyond that. And what I would say is, like, if anyone's watching this and wants to become a content creator, try and think like 3 steps ahead. Like, where do you want your content creation business to go? Because you can just be a content creator. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually very lucrative in the right space. You can be a content creator, either moving from game to game or covering whatever content you want. But if you can start to build a brand around your content and a team then around that, actually what you can end up doing is going past just having to be the person that creates the video every day. I've now got a number of passive incomes because of this kind of like brand that has been created, which hopefully will see me through beyond the point where I'm actually behind a camera recording videos. So for me, the longer term goal was always build something which can last. So there you go. Hopefully you found it interesting. If you did, please sub to the channel. It's a very different type of video for me. So please share with other people as well. I'd love for it to get further through the YouTube algorithm. And please comment below, was anything in there, something which really surprised you or, you just found really interesting. Anyway, guys, I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.